Hey y'all, Plants for Life here, and this is Marilyn and Dr. Felicia, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about what happened with the hemp ban. And what happened, we all know that the government was shut down, and in order to get it back up, there was a last minute little finagling that occurred, and the government was up, but during that finagling, somebody slipped in a hemp ban, which what it did was it said that now hemp, although still legal, can only be regulated, is only allowed to be 0.3 milligrams as it was, but only per container you're only allowed to have 0.4 milligrams per container of THC. And this is significant because a lot of us and a lot of states have been making Delta 9, Delta 8, and other products, Delta 10, HHS, all these products from hemp, and making THC-like products from hemp. And that's what they were trying to stop and ban, because these products are not regulated and because of other reasons, such as people are using them instead of alcohol. So alcohol was not happy with the alcohol industry, was not happy with the hemp industry replacing what people use recreationally or with as an adult user. So that's kind of what happened. We are still waiting to see how this will affect laws in the states. It's going to have a significant effect on the states that don't currently have adult use THC, because the products that people were using instead are now illegal, or will be illegal in a year, which is November of 2026. So we are working on trying to figure out what's going on, but Dr. Felicia has a little bit more insight into how this will affect us personally, especially medicinally, which is what Plants for Life concentrates on.
So Plants for Life is missing one person today, Oski Shabani,
Yay,
the
miss
Bush
you,
Doctor
Oski.
on Instagram. Oski is taking care of some family right now, and our heart and prayers goes out to him as he supports his family. Yeah, this hemp ban, you know, they did it in the name of protected children and that kind of thing. However, they've also included people who are doing it the right way. So a few bad actors have messed it up for everybody. So, you know, hemp has an arbitrary definition of being no more than 0.3%. And the researcher who came up with that said he never meant that to be a thing. But our government has said that, you know, hemp has no more than 0.3% of THC. But this ban will prohibit anything that has more than 0.4 milligrams per container. And there's a lot of people who are extracting the cannabinoids from the hemp plant correctly using ethanol or CO2 or butane or other solvents. They're doing it the right way, but it's the people who are converting CBD into intoxicating cannabinoids that are also in the process of creating other molecules and chemicals that are not being picked up on the certificate of analysis. That's part of the problem. So when you hear things in the news about a kid getting into some gummies or something, or some teenager having a psychotic break, most of the time those products are from a CBD vape or smoke shop, totally unregulated, with cannabinoids that are hydrogenated, which lasts a long time, bind to the receptor for a long time, causing these problems. The cannabinoids that are in the hemp plant, the cannabis plant, don't bind to the receptors like that. And so that's where we are. So this, because of a few bad actors, people who are taking cannabis for seizures or autism, fibromyalgia, all these other things are being penalized for this. The good news part is that this does not go into effect for years, so that's really good. So that's really good.
And again, what Doc was talking about is it's kind of on the good side that we begin to look at these cannabinoid molecules that they're just extracting and creating and putting into these products that are not regulated and could potentially hurt people. We don't know what these molecules are. And so regulation would have been great and still will be great. And hopefully that is the ultimate end to this. But completely cutting it off and saying none at all, that's hurtful. And that's what the problem is. Regulation, yes. And legalization, yes. But saying no to all of it, that's really not supporting those who are using it correctly medicinally and how it affects the lives of people and improves the quality of their life if they use it in a clean and medicinal way.
And I want to say that the alcohol lobby is divided. So you have these smaller independent alcohol companies who actually sent a letter to Congress saying, please don't ban these hemp products, regulate them. But then the bigger alcohol players who represent premium brands, they have a major lobbying dollars, and they have 39 attorney generals with them on their letter. This particular lobby has spent $20 million so far this year in 2025. They spent almost $30 million in 2024. But this year they're up to $20 million, and the people who had the most money are the ones who got this ban in there, because they know that people who are using cannabis use less alcohol. But these smaller alcohol companies embraced the change and said, well, let's go ahead and put some hemp-derived products in our alcohol since people are already using that. So the alcohol lobby is divided, but the alcohol lobby with the most money got their way for a total ban of all intoxicating cannabinoids, because it is cutting into their bottom line, because people are drinking less when they consume more cannabis and hemp products. So that's the whole thing. And I just wanted to say that we talk about this in our book, Why We Die, How to Live. We have a whole chapter on cannabis. And at the end of the chapter, we actually talk about these semi-synthetic cannabinoids and why they can be dangerous. For example, this Delta 8, I don't know if I can show you.
It's going to be backwards.
It's going to be, well, maybe not. But Delta 8 acetate is not found in the plant. The plant does produce a little bit of Delta 8, but not enough to create a product from. So when you heat Delta 8 acetate, it turns into something called ketene, Ketene. And that we believe is what caused the EVALI emergency, where people were getting damage to their lungs, and some people died in 2019 because people were putting vitamin E acetate and Delta 8 acetate into these vape pens and causing people to die. So that's part of the issue too. So I just wanted to let you know that we talk about it in our book,
Why We Die, How to Live,
which you can get on Amazon. I know, Amazon, boo, but no one would publish our book, so we put it on Amazon so you can get it. So just want you to know, we want you to be safe. What you can do in the meantime is that this ban is not going to go into effect for a year. So we have time to reach your state representatives and senators, your federal representative and senators, and let them know that you want hemp regulated, not banned.
Not banned.
Because,
That's right.
as some of the alcohol people said, alcohol prohibition didn't work, in America. What it did is it went underground, and people were getting sick because people were creating all kind of crazy stuff. And eventually the government said, okay, this is not going to work. We shouldn't prohibit alcohol. Let's regulate it. So that's the same thing everyone's asking for hemp. Let's regulate it, make it safe, because it's not going to go away. It's just going to go underground, and more people are going to be harmed.
Learn from our mistakes. So count on Plants for Life. We're here to support you and let you know what's going on so we can all be safe together and healthy.
All right. Voting matters.
Voting
Elections
matters.
have consequences. Peace.
Peace out.